I don't even know what that's doing. That's not going to work at all. Oh, maybe that works. See if Frank's here. Hopefully. We're just going to see getting Frank in here. See what's going to happen. See about getting Frank in here. See what's going to happen. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen now? Here we go. And Frank in.
Okay, yeah. We know it was Facebook now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It still takes a little bit longer. Like, I'm still like, before it kind of popped up right away, but now it's like adding.
Yeah.
Whereas this
Well, at least
afternoon,
it's
I
working,
almost gave
so
up.
you
I was
got.
like, oh, this is another time when it's not working. And then boom, you popped up. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
it's gonna give me a minute, but yeah, it takes me a bit.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's a delay. When you come up, I don't see it for like, I don't know, it's like 15, 20-second delay. So by the time I
yeah.
come on again, and I say, I hit the camera thing, it's about a minute, minute and a half.
It's gonna wait. Yeah. Well, that's to be, maybe that's part of the fix. Like they give it a little delay so that Mark Zuckerberg can watch it just before it gets posted.
I don't know,
Or
30
like
seconds
fix
is
some of
not a
those,
big,
no,
yeah,
it's not huge.
I'm
It's not
sorry.
bad.
30 seconds is not a big delay though. For looking at
Because
something.
sometimes I found out, oh, maybe it's happening now, but where we're a little bit ahead of each other. So like I'm like hearing you a second ahead because I don't know. There was sometimes when it was happening, like I was
Might
trying to,
be.
you know what I mean?
It might very well be.
So maybe they're
I'm,
fixing some other stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
I
We'll
don't know.
see.
The
It'll still
delay.
be
I don't
quick.
know. Well, when we did the podcast with True Talk, Matt, my friend, lives in Staten Island. That's not that far away, maybe 20, 25 miles, and there was very little delay. So maybe it's delay
Mhm.
between New York and Canada. I don't know.
Could be. Could be. The signal's got to stop at customs for. No, I don't know
Yeah, it's
what's going
got
on.
to
But hey, if
need a
if it works,
passport, proof of
yeah, yeah,
citizenship.
exactly. Well, the NSA's got to watch everything, so I mean that takes time.
Yeah, right.
Takes time. But yeah,
It's
no,
yeah, right. That's a 30-second delay.
as long
NSA
as
is
it
watching
works
us. Yeah.
before Facebook goes, we're gonna squeeze some videos out of it, anyways.
I don't think it's gonna go anytime soon. They got a couple of years, but it's on its way down. Like MySpace. You remember your dad? Do you remember MySpace? That used to be
That's
big
just
before
it. There'll be
Facebook,
another one.
and now that's gone almost. I think it's almost completely gone now. I think they took down the website completely. I don't think MySpace is a thing
MySpace, it might
anymore.
be. I heard that they just stopped. Well, I bet it's still around MySpace. I wonder if you could find it. It's a good question. But there was one thing, the first ever messaging thing, and it was AOL, AOL messaging or something. And it was kind of the first ever
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
texting back and forth. And they just
AOL Instant
stopped
Messenger.
using it.
Yeah,
They
yes,
just
yeah. That
stopped
was
using it.
yeah.
There was still a million users. I was like,
Really? I
there's
had it
still a
too.
million, and they just said, okay, we're gonna just stop doing it altogether, guys. Like real
if you had
hardcore
an
guys, I guess.
if you had an AOL email, then you had AIM. You could use it. AOL Instant
AIM,
Messenger.
that's what they talked about.
Yeah,
Yep,
that
AIM.
was
That's
AIM.
what
Yeah,
it was.
so I had AIM too,
Yep.
and that was around for a long time. But I remember the very first time anything came out was what live person-to-person talk on the computer was CompuServe. This was back in the 80s now, and
Let me see.
yeah, we're going back a
CompuServe.
while. As is back when they had the Commodore 64. It was a 64-bit computer. 64 bits. Think about that. Think about how small that is right now. I mean, we have computers now. I think Apple sells one for like 18 gigs of RAM. This had 64 bits.
Just bits.
512, well, 1024 is a meg. No, is
Oh
it
yeah.
right? Is a meg? Right, 10 or 100 megs in a gig, right? I think so. Is that right?
I remember getting computers in the kilobytes and then megabytes. Woo,
Right, and now
mega.
we have gigabytes,
Tera. Now we're up to terabytes
terabytes.
for.
Yeah, right, terabytes.
And I think someone was saying about like the Google processors or something like that. Oh, I don't know if I can search it right now, but it was like it's in the range of like the next thousand range up after tera.
Oh
What was it?
God, the teraquads. The
Picobytes?
oh no, a teraquad I think is what we're talking about, not terabyte.
I
Teraquad?
think it's
No, teraquad is 1,000 gigs. It might be a teraquad. And what's
teraquad.
up
I
from
thought it was a
teraquad
pica.
now?
No, pico. It might be tera. Anyways, well, I have
Can you imagine a teraquad? I can't, but like I have 3 gigs of RAM on
a
my
yeah.
computer, and I think it's slow.
Yeah, okay. Like even just these issues we're having. Can you even imagine? I remember having a computer and it would you download an image and it would go
Yeah.
turk.
Oh God, I had yeah, I did have it. Was it dial-up? 52
Yeah. Oh yeah,
megabytes,
yeah.
52 bytes per second. That's dial-up. Now I have FiOS. I have 50 megabytes per second, which is what like a 100,000 times faster.
Yeah, it just don't. Like I remember it was my brother and my brother was really into just all sorts of weird stuff. He was a weirdo. No, he was kind of a scientific nerd guy. Like a, Star
Like
Trek
Sean?
kind of weirdo.
Like Sean?
I don't know. Is he into Star Trek? I don't know. I didn't
Yeah,
ask him
Sean's a
about that.
Trekkie. Yeah.
He is?
So am I.
Okay.
Yeah. So am I.
That well, and my brother he would just go in anyways. So in high school, we're talking about like 95 or something,
Oh
and
wow.
he
Okay.
got
Yeah.
into like, internet and he's like, what the hell is that? I don't know. No one knew what this was. And so we get this, my parents get him for Christmas, a modem. It's like, what the hell's a modem? I don't know. You plug it into the phone and something happens. It squeals.
Oh my
And
God,
you
I
would get
remember
on
how
into these
expensive they
like
were too. Yeah.
billboards, no, bulletin
Yeah.
boards. Like
Yeah.
that was all the internet was. And he would show me this thing
Yeah.
and you just go into like these lists of things. You go down to which one you want to, and then some stuff was in it or there was nothing in it. It was just like really, you go into this certain one or there's this other one on the other side of the world or something. It was just the weirdest experience.
I guess your brother's
But
quite a bit younger than me because I was in high school in the '80s. So,
he was, oh yeah, he born in 77, him.
so that's not too
He'd be
much. That's
40
4 years
now.
younger.
40 now.
Yeah, I was in high school. Yeah,
And we're in the
1986.
country, so everything's 5 years behind.
Yeah, right. I remember when modems
Style,
first came out.
technology, everything.
When
Took
modems
a while to
first
get
came
those.
out, you had to buy them separate. They didn't have anything else.
Oh
No
yeah, no.
set internet provider or anything like that. You had to buy it for yourself. I think it was like $1,000 at the time. Again,
And
dial-up
you
for a
couldn't
little
use your
for a
phone at the same
box.
time.
Right, you had to plug it in.
For
You
us,
ever see the
anyways.
movie War Games?
War
With
game?
Matthew Broderick. Yeah, Matthew Broderick, Ali Sheedy.
I don't
Oh,
know.
he had this was back what I think the movie came out in '86. He had a dial-up modem too. Where you had to actually put the phone on a receiver on the modem in order to get the blips and bings, from the phone, in
Hmm.
order to connect to the internet. And
Yeah.
that was probably even slower than dial-up. So, how technology came from then till now. I mean, you have an ISP provider, like Verizon, Time Warner, what have you. They give you a
Yeah.
modem as part of the package. You don't even have to buy one. It's like you're just renting it for
Yeah.
the time that you have it, and the speeds are just amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's just ridiculous. Like already I've got the very base minimum plan. Well, I guess maybe the total amount you can have, or even just the speed. Like just because I'm not living with a bunch of people, it was
Yeah,
well, other than sometimes when it slows down, I guess.
yeah,
But it's like more than I need, I feel like. But where if you get the big pop-up package, apparently you can like stream, 15 things at once, right? And that's
yeah.
just in your house, right? Imagine what that means on the large scale. Like everyone's streaming the Super Bowl out at the same time, and yet the
When I
cable
first,
is big enough to do that, right?
yeah,
Which is
right.
pretty,
Well, Verizon Fios uses fiber optic until it transfers to the house, and they use regular coax.
I've heard,
But
yeah.
fiber optic allows a lot higher speeds, so everybody's upgrading to that. But when I first had
I've
Time Warner, I think the fastest speed they can give you was 20 megabytes per second. Now Verizon offers 300 megabytes per second. Obviously, that's for businesses. They don't want slower internet because they got a lot of traffic. But
What's
could you imagine
the normal one? I don't know what ours is.
about 1020 megabytes per second is about
1020 is the
it's
normal one. Okay.
yeah. Actually, if you go on your computer or on your phone, you type in speedtest.net. It'll tell you how fast your internet is.
I used it 3 to 4. Sorry, I was just on a thing called computer memory. Oh,
And you
I
see,
thought you-
it's powered. You have it's an app on your phone too, Ookla app. It actually tells you how fast your internet is right now. So I have 50 upload download from Verizon. So on my phone, it goes to 30 because it's obviously a Wi-Fi connection. A hardwired computer's gonna be faster, obviously. But it tells you exactly how fast your computer is. It'll
hardware.
tell you your ping, how fast your ping
What did
is.
you?
A faster ping is better. The lower the number, the better.
Which speed test? Wow, there's just a million speed tests. Speed test. What?
SPEED.net.
Okay,
NET.
it's that one. Because there's like a
SPEED.
million, eh?
Yeah, no, it's only
Like
one.
everyone wants to measure your speed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there's a million
fast.com.
things you can go to measure your speed, but this one I found is the most accurate. And you see a ping, and then you see the little needle go up and down. Are you on your laptop or on?
Oh, I see. No, it's just I don't have a laptop really. Well, I have to get the app. Okay, I can get the app and do it.
So get the app. It's not. It's
But,
make sure you go to the
my
Google
internet
Play
is
Store.
slow, so getting the app takes time.
No, it doesn't take time. It
Well, if
takes.
your internet is slow,
Mine is. See, this is why America's superior. We have faster internet.
oh, it's just a big city thing and a cheap thing. There's good
Yeah.
service providers here. I just go with the cheapest one.
Yeah, right. That's the truth, though. 'Cause, in the country, America, where it's
Oh,
less populous, they do have slower internet and not as many providers. So yeah, it depends on the
that's
city
it.
you live in.
They're talking about it being like not a necessity, but almost like electricity. The government should kind of get internet to
It's
people
almost,
because it's like
you know,
for connecting, right? Just like Sean was saying, he's like he can't go without internet, just like he can't go without
you know
food,
what's
right?
exactly. You know what's funny too is around here, nobody takes walk-in applicants anymore for a job. You have to apply online. So basically, if you don't have an internet connection, you have to go to public library, or you're out of luck. It's
Hmm.
actually a necessity right now. You actually need internet. And
Yeah.
everybody has a
Oh yeah.
smartphone.
Oh, the public libraries, they got
Yeah,
lineups there. It's just
yeah.
ridiculous.
So when my brother was out of work, he was basically on his phone almost like 7, 8 hours a day looking for jobs, just posting on the internet. And it's from, and my landlord,
Hmm.
he's like
Yeah.
87, 88 years old. He was yelling at us, because we were out of work. He said, I would be on the street looking for a job right away. He doesn't understand that
That's
everything
not
is
how it works.
digital now. It's,
And that's when
you
you need
can't
it
hit
the
the street.
most is when you're looking for a job. And it's like, well, but how do you get internet to get everybody again? That's it. So, oh, 3. How many pings do you want? How many pings should I have? I have
Your ping should be less than
49.
9 milliseconds.
I have 49. No, what?
49
Oh,
milliseconds?
yeah. And 3.3.
Whoa! You might be a little
3.1.
slow.
I can upload at
3.3.
0.41.
Oh, that's your upload? 3.3?
Oh, that's my download.
Oh my god.
Is that really bad?
Your download is
Maybe,
3.3. That's very big.
mm, that's on actually the crit. It's on the worst device. Should that make
That's
a
probably why
difference?
you're having problems. That's probably why you're having a problem. I'll tell you my ping right now. My ping is 6 milliseconds. And I
Oh, it
have
changed
60
altogether
upload
now.
right
It
now.
says ping is 15 milliseconds and
60
download is
downloads, sorry.
6.0. Download is 6 now. It's like I'm gonna grab a different
You know,
device.
yeah, still slow.
What is it's doing my
And I'm
upload
losing
right
you.
now?
Can you hear
What?
me, Fraser? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's uploaded at point. Yeah, it says
Yeah,
download.
my
I'm just gonna
upload is
grab a different
38.
38.
Once you yeah, 34 now, 55 now.
Pings? I don't
I'm
know
paying
pings.
$25 a month for my internet service. That and I have basically the slowest one they offer from Verizon, which is 50.
Slow start for the first 50. But what does your ping say? You have 15 pings?
Six no,
Oh no,
6
no, I have
milliseconds, not
15.
15 pings. 6 milliseconds.
Oh, 6 milliseconds.
Yeah, the quicker the ping is, the stronger your internet connection.
I'm gonna do it again because I got like two different numbers the first time. I'm gonna do a couple different ones. Okay, let's see a different tablet doing a different thing. It's like an experiment right here. So now it's slower again. You see, it was just at
Really?
6. Now it's going down to 3.5. But that doesn't mean anything. What do you mean? The download millibytes, Mbps?
Download and upload is how fast your internet is, but your ping is how fast your how secure how fast your internet is. There is a site. It's
I just need
called.
to know how
You should
fast it
download
is.
it. ccleaner.com.
Sea cleaner?
Had you clear your cache often? Just as a quick question, do you clear your cache often? Well, your phone really
I don't
doesn't
have a
matter, but maybe
computer
your
though,
tablet,
right? Like on
a
my
tablet.
tablet? I don't know.
Is your
I
tablet an
usually have these
Apple
little
or
things that they're all Android, yeah. I usually have these things that like you have a little thing that says clean it up or boost or whatever it says.
yeah, 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 you use
I have
it.
that on my
It
phone,
works.
so it's
Use it.
like cleaning up. It cleans up junk files. You press a button and it's supposed to do that for you, I
Right.
think. Like a different computer where yeah, you actually go in and say clear the cache off. So I think I'm doing that.
You know what's funny is
Yeah.
when you go from your when you start these videos from your car, you are so much faster. Your internet's a lot faster from your
Yeah.
car. You got to hit
I
these
noticed
Wi-Fi
that.
hotspots, right?
No, that's my data. I was watching it today. I'm at five
That's
out
your
of
data.
six.
Oh man,
It goes a lot faster though, for sure.
but it does.
But this, I don't know. But it's okay for today. Like I say, it's just on
No,
like
it's fine.
Friday nights when everyone's like watching movies or something. Oh, is tonight Friday? No, it's not. It's Thursday.
Nice Friday.
You know, like when we were doing podcasts on those nights when everyone's
Yeah.
watching a movie or something
Everybody,
all at the
everybody
same
using a lot
time.
of yeah, everybody using a lot of data, using
And
a
it's
lot of
probably like
bandwidth.
if I think it was that. Like if you're on that fiber stuff, then it doesn't matter who's watching or something like that. But if you're on the thing
No,
I'm on in,
right.
and if
Yeah.
the whole neighborhood's watching a show, that changes
Yeah.
things. You know what I mean?
Everybody has Hulu, Netflix, whatever, and they always stream a movie.
Like where we are in Montreal, there's like the mountain, and all the rich people live on the mountain, and then there's like a
Oh,
highway, and then all the poor people live here, and we're down here. So they've got all fiber network, I'm sure. But this poor
I'm
neighborhood,
sure. Yeah.
we'll be the last ones to get it. It's like really the
It trickles down. It'll trickle down eventually.
one day. We actually it's a funny story because it's we're right actually beside the richest neighborhood. Like there's the rich neighborhood, and
Yeah,
then
me
there's
too.
like the poor side of the rich neighborhood, and then there's a highway that they built, and then there's the St. Henry's. There's Westmount, Lower Westmount, and then there's St. Henry on the other side of the highway. And it's actually like really downhill from it, right? And then they do
Really.
a highway right through the middle between the two. It goes into downtown then. And one day, and so we live about a half block away from the highway. That's about where my place is. And one day
Yeah.
the water is cut off, like there was some big rupture in St. Henry's water system. The water is out. I'm getting signals. Oh, you have no water. You have no water in St. Henry because you get like text signals, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Get home like, what's going on? You know, turn on the tap. It's running fine. No problems at all. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I looked on the map, like the overhead map, and you see Westmount water system, and it comes around our area a little bit. So there's one block in St. Henry that's getting their water from from Westmount, the rich
Oh,
neighborhood,
get out,
and
really?
we're in that one block. We're drinking rich people's
You got
water.
lucky.
I'm
You
serious.
got
Like I looked
lucky.
on the map, and it's not even the whole length of the street either. It's like a 6 block length, about 1 block wide, and we're drinking the rich people's water. but not we don't get their
That's
internet
awesome.
speed though.
No, to get the water,
Those
that's
highways blocking the internet.
I think the water's more important than the
Anyways,
internet.
you wonder, I suppose, but maybe it's kind of like not good water. It's kind of sieved down through the highway or something. Well, you
Oh,
see, I'm looking on my other tablet. It's actually faster.
really?
No, we have good water. I think we've got good water.
New York has the
But it's
best water.
raining.
Actually, they taste tested New York water against bottled, and it won.
I've heard this a lot. Water is just junk. But
Because New York has the
like a
best
lot of
water in the country.
good water, like good treated water, is like
Your video froze.
high quality. What?
Wow, your video and
Sorry?
audio is all over the place.
Because I'm running these tests. I
Can
bet
you
you
hear
that's
me?
not. Yeah, totally. Nothing ever happened on my end.
Yes, cut
You
all
look
the
fine.
tests. You're using bandwidth. Shut them all down.
Seriously? That's using my bandwidth? I've only got. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay, fine. The hell? All right, all right, all right.
If you don't have the high speed, you use bandwidth. You got a lot of things working. You use bandwidth, and it'll
I'm
break up.
using a speed test application. How
But
is
it
that?
uses bandwidth in order to test the speed.
But it's like it's streaming a video just to make me speed.
It's not
I guess
streaming
I
a
need to
video,
get a
but
new
it uses
thing.
bandwidth to test the speed. It has to use something, and that's
I don't
now your
know.
video and audio. Now it's cutting out again.
Really?
Fraser in slow motion.
I shut it off. I'm using it. Is it going really bad?
This is ridiculous.
Is it really bad? Seriously? Mine looks fine, dude. Can you hear me?
You you look like a Japanese movie where the Japanese movie where the guy's talking. I'm gonna take you out to dinner.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
that's how you look.
That's how it is. That's weird. You streaming just perfectly on my end. I shut everything off, eh?
Now you're fine. Now you're
Must have
fine.
messed up.
It takes a
Getting
couple
better?
of seconds to
Okay. Yeah, well. Oh, so, made it to the end of the day. We made it to one more day, or one more evening.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Fucking
What are your plans for tomorrow?
nothing. It's gonna
Nothing?
be really windy here. I'm gonna stay home.
Oh, yeah. I looked into the weather. I thought, oh, no, Frank told me about this nor'wester, nor something.
Nor'easter. Nor'easter. We
Nor'easter.
call
It
it
was a
nor'easter.
nor'easter.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the winds
Yeah,
blow
anyways,
northeast.
but it didn't seem like it was, like, in the couple day forecast, it wasn't bringing anything snowflakes here anyways. Yeah.
We didn't get a
That's
lot of
actually,
snow, thankfully.
mhm.
We didn't get a lot of snow. We got a dusting, and my car is covered in a little bit of snow. But I heard some places, was it west of here, west and north, got 7 feet of snow, not inches,
Wow.
feet.
Wow. And that's kind of the area, like if you, Quebec kind of butts up to New York somewheres, I think,
Here in Niagara
or
Falls, I think,
Vermont. I don't know.
on
Do we share a
Albany.
border with them?
It's I don't know. It's got to be. It's way north from here.
That's
I
it,
know
but it's
Niagara.
still the northern part of New York is like not so south of southern part of Quebec is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, Buffalo. Oh,
Seven
God.
feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Let's
know
hope not
Buffalo, New
so.
York has the lake effect snows, and they get feet
They can get it.
also.
Yeah. I've
But
heard
I
that.
don't
Yeah,
know
the lake stuff.
the lake effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I hate the snow. I want to move south. I hate the snow.
It's almost done. You go.
I know.
Oh, how about Colombia? They finished all
Really, they
their
get a lot of
civil
snow.
wars. It's all done now. I don't know. It's just south.
Oh,
Just
Colombia
south.
has a
No
civil
snow.
war.
They were like
Huh?
in against the FARC. FARC. I don't know. It was some rebellion, and you don't. Apparently, you didn't want to go there because like tourists were getting kidnapped for ransoms.
In
It
in
was just
in
like
Canada.
business.
Oh, Colombia. You're
Hmm?
talking about South America. Because
Colombia,
there's
yeah,
British Columbia, Canada. There's Columbia, South America.
yeah.
There's Columbia in the United
That's it.
States too. You know what's funny is my friend who passed away a little over a year ago. He was working for a shipping company out here, and he was supposed to ship something to London, but he shipped it to London, England. He didn't know there was a London in Canada, so he went to the wrong place.
What about there's some places? Sorry, I was moving my light. Or was my lights right there? There's like a Paris, Texas or something. There's a film
Yeah.
about the Paris, Texas or something.
Oh,
Then you get into the funny ones. Oh, there was this show on, oh, I can't remember where it was, but it was about weird Canadian town names. Oh, I'm gonna try and slow down my internet just to show you some of these ones.
wait, wait. I
The-
can type it up. Hold on.
oh my gosh. It gets like comical. Like, why would you leave your town name like that? Unless it's a, I don't know why. Like, some of them are so bad. Like, sort of like, there was one called, what was the worst one? Dildo, or
Dildo! It just came up! That was the first
is
one
a
that came up.
town
Dildo,
name, right?
Canada.
And
Dildo,
sure,
Newfoundland, and Labrador.
you know, maybe 100 years ago, no one knew what a dildo, no, a dildo wasn't
Yeah.
anything. But now a dildo is something. So why
Yeah.
don't you change the damn name, man?
Yeah.
Unless it's a
Falls
joke,
Falls,
unless that's a
Ontario.
tourist thing.
Listen to this.
What were some of the
Falls
other ones?
Falls,
Was like,
Ontario. Happy Adventure, Newfoundland. That's not so bad. Vulcan, Alberta. So no, you got Vulcans too. Punky
no,
Doodle
those
Corners,
ones,
Ontario.
wait, Vulcan, Alberta, they've
Yeah.
totally taken to the Star Trek thing. They
Oh,
have
really?
like a life-size replica of the Starship Enterprise.
A life size or oh, I gotta go. I gotta see
Look up
that.
Vulcan,
That would be
Alberta.
so cool.
Of like it's like their freaking town welcome statue or something. Whoa, I'm pushing myself over. No, seriously. That's what Vulcan did. I just don't want to look up the dildo town statue.
Oh no. Let's see, you got Punky Doodle Corners, Ontario. Sober Island, Nova Scotia. Swastika, Ontario. Spread Eagle Boy,
Swastika.
Newfoundland and Labrador. Spread Eagle.
Oh, Newfoundland's got some good ones over there too. Some of their bays. What is some of their? Let me get to that.
Bacon Cove, Newfoundland and Labrador. Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump, Alberta. Stoner,
That's a
British
real. What do you mean?
Columbia.
That's I know where that is. That's an actual thing.
Head Smashed in
That head
Buffalo Jump.
smashed in Buffalo Jump. That's a
Yeah.
place where they smashed, where they ran buffalo off the cliff to smash their heads. It was an actual thing that they did. But there
Wow.
was,
Okay. So.
because it was at a certain place in the thing, like when it went to like the seasonal hunting, what you would do is you would
I
get
heard about
a
this.
herd of
Yeah,
buffalo on the run, and then, you know, just enough of them would just head the wrong way at this one time.
Stampede. A stampede. Yeah.
There's supper. It's supper. It was like the way of killing them, and you just go and like pick them up downstairs. That's actually what it is,
Yeah.
man.
I
It's
actually heard about
anyway.
Indians doing that. A unique way of hunting.
But then they
Stoner.
named the place after it too. It's like, hey, what
Yeah.
should we name this place? There's a nice cliff there. What do they do with that? They smash
Head
buffalo's
Smashed in
heads.
Buffalo Jump.
Let's call it that. I don't know. It's still weird.
Makes sense.
I guess so.
Stoner, British
Oh, no,
Columbia. Eyebrow,
What were some-
Saskatchewan. And that's it. Let me see if I can find
Wait,
anything else.
Crotch Lake. You didn't get to Crotch Lake. Oh, yeah, oh, lake names. Oh, go to the lake. There's some. Oh, not even just town. Maybe it was
Louis
more than town
Duha.
names, but it was funny Canadian place names.
I found one. St. Louis du Haha.
St. Louis du
Dildo
Ha.
Harbor.
Yeah, Dildo Harbor. Balls Falls.
Come by Chance, Blow Me Down, Goobies, Witless Bay, in Nova Scotia, Balls Creek, Sober Island, Mushaboom. Lower economy. There's also an upper economy. No word in comparative financial ranking. In New Brunswick, you got Quispamsis. Yeah, okay. Cocaine. Cocagne, which seems to be pronounced cocaine, but like in a very like perfume, a cologne kind of spelling.
Okay, yeah. Be like, yeah, I see what you said.
Cardigan.
Oh,
Crap on. In Quebec, you got St. Louis du Haha.
yeah.
Mayo.
St. Louis du Ha. I like that one, actually.
Have you heard this one? Trois pistoles?
Which one, sorry?
Trois pistoles.
Trois pistoles.
Trois pistoles.
Trois.
Three guns. Trois pistoles. Three guns.
Yeah, but in Spanish, we got that one?
Yeah, that's, yeah. Punky Doodle's Corner, Crotch Lake, Balls Falls, Wawa, Mono, Ontario.
Witless Bay. Did you see Witless Bay?
Yeah. In Manitoba,
Oh,
you got Flin Flon. Actually named after
oh
a science
yeah.
fiction character, so I didn't know about that. Finger and Bacon Ridge. Saskatchewan has Mosquito Grizzly Bear's Head Mean Man. Oh, that's gotta be some
That's
story.
gonna be something else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's
Climax.
it. That's gonna be one of
Yeah. Climax, Moose Jaw, Eyebrow, Big Beaver, Urine, URIN. Where are you? You're in Saskatchewan. we have
urine.
Yeah, we have a couple of neighborhoods here in Brooklyn. One's called Brownsville, and the other one's called Flatbush. But Flatbush sounds like a medical condition, and Brownsville, believe it or not, all the black people live.
They got eyebrows.
I swear, don't visit
Just
Brownsville.
not. It's not even subtle at all. It's not even. It's just straight up there.
No.
Like, hey, and here's White's McMightyville. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
going around the world now. Here's funniest top 25 around the world, maybe.
Skookum Chuck in British Columbia, in Stoner, British Columbia. Oh, God.
Oh, San Luis de Haha. That made it to the
Huh?
top.
St. Louis,
There's,
yeah.
I've gone one 25
I,
strangest place
I
names
said
in the
that before.
world. Oh, you went to that one? Oh, you're already
Yeah.
there, maybe.
St. Louis, haha.
Westward Ho.
You guys are weird.
Westward Ho is an actual town.
Are you on Regis? Are you on Regis Digest? 150 wonderful, weird and wonderful town names across Canada from Regis Digest.
No, right now I'm off to like on Earth 20
Oh,
list25.com. The 25
I
funniest and
think
strangest place names on Earth. And
looks like
the
we're not
San
finding
Luis de
anything
Haha
tonight.
made it onto that one.
We're
Satan's
not finding any
Kingdom,
truth tonight,
Vermont.
are we? Oh,
Saint
geez, I wouldn't want to visit there.
Vermont?
I won't. Yeah, I won't. From no, it's Satan's Kingdom. I don't want to visit there.
Why would they leave the name like that?
Climax, Happy Adventure,
I want to find
Newfoundland.
out about that place. It's not too far. We could visit. I could visit. You won't.
Oh, you could
I'm
visit.
just kidding.
Want me
You
down,
won't go to
Newfoundland?
Satan's Kingdom?
Why would I want to
Tepuke.
go to Satan's Kingdom?
Tepuke. Tepuke.
Fertile,
I don't know.
Saskatchewan.
Satan's Kingdom State.
Paintport,
What
Ontario,
the?
Mayo, Quebec, Sober Island, Nova Scotia, Cowhead, Newfoundland, Bacon Cove, Newfoundland, Crotch Lake, Ontario, Stoner, British Columbia. Maybe you should visit there. I wonder if pot's legal there too.
What was the name again? Sorry.
Stoner, British Columbia.
S- It's not the town. It's the whole province. Okay.
Really?
Um. Oh, they're all.
Pontypool,
Oh,
Ontario.
it's warm. Look, there's two Satan's kingdoms in the United States.
I didn't
One in
even know
Vermont
that.
and one in Massachusetts. You guys, I see what you're talking about. There's a
Placenta?
problem down there.
Yeah, there is.
At least we don't have that in
What?
Canada.
Asbestos, Quebec. Yeah, there you go.
We don't have any.
Cardigan, Happy
Satan's
Land,
Kingdom. You
Ontario.
got to get a Punky Doodle's Corner. Where's that
Funky,
at?
yeah, I just had that.
Oh, that's in Canada too. Sorry, I missed. Yeah, okay. Ay, ay.
Mirror, Alberta, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Regina, and Keg River, Dead Man's Flats, Pokemoosh, New Brunswick, Seven Persons, Alberta, Cloos,
Some of the weird.
British Columbia. I don't know. Mushaboom, Nova Scotia, Sputsum, British Columbia, Use, British Columbia, Skookumchuck, British Columbia. I can't even say these names. Oh, crapwood. I guess.
Yeah, some of
Crapwood
them would be
crapwood.
like you get like Aboriginal names and stuff. I got one. Here's one in Arizona. Nothing.
Nothing,
Called
Arizona.
Nothing, Arizona.
It's probably close to the truth. There's nothing in Arizona.
So they're talking. Maybe it's abandoned. No, but there was the town sign. So this is what the town sign reads. This is
They
great.
say nothing.
No, it says more than nothing about nothing. It says something about nothing. The staunch citizens of nothing are full of hope, faith, and believe in work ethic. Through the years, no, yeah, through the years, these dedicated people had faith in nothing, hoped for nothing, worked at nothing for nothing. Is
That's pretty good.
that good? At least they had a sense of humor about where they were at.
At
Oh, the
least.
North Pole. There's a
Oh, I
North
just looked
Pole
it up.
in New York. There's a town called the North Pole, New York.
Really?
You
I just
guys.
looked up Vulcan
Yeah.
Canada. I see this. I see the Enterprise. They got
You
the
see
one
the,
that Kirk
yeah.
piloted,
Yeah, the old one, I think.
the old one. NCC 1701B, I think it is. I can't read
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm a Star Trek
NCC.
nerd too, so.
Oh, the B. So it wasn't like the first one. I thought I'm going to turn you around.
Well, they got a lot of weird people here too.
This is an American guy. Look at that. You see? Some guy, he made Santa's workshop in New York, the
In New
North Pole,
York.
New York.
How cool is that?
That's so, but it's like you guys, you want to have the North Pole there, you want to have hell there. You can't just like name a town thing and that's going to be it now. Sorry, oops, I guess you don't have to watch me scrolling. I'm just joking, but seriously, the North Pole, you can't have that. That's ours.
Yeah, it is.
It just
Actually,
stays
it is.
there.
Yeah, we just
Totally, right? Even Russia wants to take it. It's like, no, no, no. It's ours. We
so.
get Santa
Oh,
is a
Santa's.
Canadian resident.
Oh, looks like Santa's an American citizen now.
Just yes, he'll lose it. Where's my address? I'm at the North Pole. Okay, here we are. He lands in New York. There's a place in Colorado called No Name.
Are we gonna continue with the Wiccan thing, or we're gonna do something else tonight?
Um, I don't know. Well, I had a little back and forth with her the other time. Muff. So I just want to get to the top one. Moon, Pennsylvania.
Well, yeah,
Mars, Pennsylvania. Intercourse. Welcome to Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Oh my God, is it Amish? No.
probably.
Oh my gosh. Look at the,
Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
wow.
Probably a great fucking town.
Like just look at the picture. There's like a little Amish guy, no?
Yeah, that's an Amish. That's an Amish wagon. Yeah, the Amish
It's
live in
Intercourse.
Pennsylvania. Must be a
Well, do they
great
have big
fucking town to live
families?
in. They have big families. Yeah.
Ah, Intercourse. Sorry, I'm just getting to the top five. I just have to get to the top one, but it's one of these pages you have to click
God.
and then it goes to the next page.
Oh, yeah, it's real. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Half. Half.com. Oh my goodness. So there's this place halfway between the North Pole and the equator. Holy cow. Wait a second. Halfway between the North Pole and the equator, halfway Oregon. So it's a place called Halfway Oregon. And
Cool.
I think this is exactly halfway between the North Pole and the equator. In
Yeah, that's
1999, the dot-com bubble, this
yeah.
company, a website, it was called half.com, paid the town $110,000 and 20 computers for the school. The town renamed itself half.com for a year.
Nice. I wonder who pocketed that money. Probably some corrupt politician.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. There was, George is a town
George, that's
in
not
the
so.
lovely
That's not
state
so.
of Washington. It's the
George.
only
Oh,
town in our
okay.
state to be fully
That,
named after a president. Oh, so
yeah.
in nod to George's fame for chopping down a cherry tree, George's streets are named after cherries.
Nice. That's pretty cool. We got numbers here,
Yeah,
and they go in numerical order, so you really can't get lost in my neighborhood.
that's it. Yeah, let see. What's this
I
one?
live
Oh, I
on.
thought
Well,
this was another one that was there. I'm like
without
ganja
giving
call.
too much away to all our three viewers, I live on 71st and 10th Avenue. 70. So if you're driving around here, you wouldn't get too lost. Places where
That's
the
it.
streets are named, I get lost. Staten Island is all names. I get lost there easy. It's very
Yeah,
easy.
those ones sound great.
Yeah.
Calgary. You should see Calgary. It's built on quadrants. So it's like Center
Yeah.
Street and Center Avenue, and then you
Manhattan is
start going
too.
one, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's just southwest, northwest, uh,
If
northeast,
you ever
southeast, I guess.
if you ever look at the streets of Manhattan, they are a perfect grid, and this was done what 250, 300 years ago. It's a perfect
Yeah,
grid in Manhattan.
Manhattan did that thing, yeah.
Hmm
They
And they
started
did
some of
it.
these planned ones, right? And then they get off to the some other place and they stop doing it. But yeah, that was Calgary. It was just that you could see city planners got a hold of it first
Yeah,
before it all went to shit, I guess. But yeah,
yeah. This is before the government became like the way it is now. They were talking about before an
Bitchfield.
incompetent government. Well, yeah, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy ruins everything.
This is good. Check this out. Speaking of bureaucracy, town naming. Someone was not happy when they named this town. So this is in England. You can go to
Bitchfield,
Bitchfield or Lower
Lower Bitchfield.
Bitchfield, but there's no through road to Lower Bitchfield.
That's a
That's in
bitch.
England. That would be a bitch to have no through road. You wouldn't want to live in Lower Bitchfield because there's
No,
no
I
road.
want to be. Yeah, I want to
You
be
would
in Upper
everyone would want
Bitchfield.
to go to Bitchfield.
Yeah,
It'd be like,
to be a
I
regular
don't want to
bitch.
live in a town called Bitch, but at least I have a through road.
Oh, it's a bitch. No, it's not a bitch. It's a bitch field.
Feel the bitch. Beaver Lick.
It's a
Beaver Lick,
female.
Kentucky.
A bitch is a female
Batman! Where's
dog.
Batman?
Okay, I see
Pardon?
this again. A bitch is a female dog of breeding age. That's what a bitch is.
Yeah. And so there's a field of dogs there. That's even,
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
A, f- a field of horny dogs.
Field of,
Horny female dogs.
you like Batman, right?
Yeah, I do.
There's a city in Turkey in the Batman province named
Really?
after the Batman River. It's a major tributary of the Tigris, blah, blah, blah. Something that doesn't matter. Who cares? Bastard Town is an Irish village. It looks like just the letter A, is a town in Norway. And Accident in
That sounds
England, I
very
guess.
Canadian, having a town. Do you want to name this town A? A? Let's see what A. A? We'll
It's
name
got a
it
little,
A.
I think it's got an accent above it. Yeah, exactly. A? Oh,
Have you ever
why
seen
hasn't that
South Park?
happened yet? That's totally Canadian. A?
Have you ever have you ever
E-H.
seen South Park, Fraser?
Yeah. Oh, when I
The
was younger, that
Canadians,
was a big.
yeah, the Canadians have these heads that the weird heads.
Yeah. What is it? Terrence and
Terrence and
Phillip? No,
Phillip,
Terrence
yeah.
and. Hey
All Americans
guy.
look normal,
Hey
and
guy.
the Canadians have these heads that separate from their mouths when they talk.
Oh yeah, I think maybe that's why we loved it so much because Canada was just mentioned so often.
Oh,
Oh,
there
I
was
could
a
probably do
movie.
that. There was that movie.
There was
Ah,
actually a movie,
Blame
South Park, Bigger,
Canada,
Longer, and Uncut.
blame
Yeah,
Canada.
that's what
Do you remember that?
it was all about a war with America and Canada over Terrence and Phillip.
Hey
Oh
guy,
God!
hey guy. Oh
I'm
man,
not your
those guys.
friend, pal. I'm not your buddy, friend.
Yeah, they talk like that. It was so great.
Oh,
It was
it's
like,
still one of my favorite shows.
they're just so over the top, and they just pushed every line, like
Oh,
everything. You
every
say
pun,
they shouldn't talk about
everything.
that. That would be the only thing they talk about. It was just, oh,
They made
yeah,
fun
that
of
was good.
everybody. So we believe me, they made fun of Christians, they made fun of Buddhists, the Canadians, Americans, everybody. Nobody was safe.
Nobody. Do you remember the character Chef?
Yes, yeah, Isaac
Do you remember
Hayes, yeah.
how he left the show and stuff, and the
Because they
reasons
made
why
fun of
behind it?
Scientology. They made fun of
Yeah.
Scientology. That's why he left.
And he was like,
He
"Oh,
was
that's weird," and they're like, "What the fuck are
right.
you talking about? We've been
He was
making fun of
okay with making fun of
everybody
that. Yeah,
forever."
he was okay with making fun of every other religion, but when it came to Scientology, he left.
That was like over the pale, and they weren't even doing
Right?
much
That was
about
over
it.
the top.
And
No, they did it.
then they ripped Scientology up one,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
They
they
just
had
went hard at Scientology for that whole,
well, they
and at
had this
him
one
too.
episode. There's one episode where they had Tom Cruise in a fudge packing plant, so Tom Cruise is a fudge packer. Yeah, and then Tom Cruise was in the closet; he wouldn't come out. So I mean, and he's a Scientologist, so they made fun. So they ripped into
Oh,
Tom Cruise pretty hard too.
they are so subtle, aren't they? Him in a
Yeah,
fudge
right.
packing plant.
Tom Cruise is a
They're
fudge
just so
packer.
subtle.
Wow.
Oh, that is so great. That is a good one. What we could do them. Oh. But no, okay, so get back to your other thing, to the Wiccan. I talked to my
Yeah.
friend, and
Yeah.
had a couple texts back and forth, and she's really kind of, she's like, she was like, I really don't want to talk about it on podcast, as it were.
Okay.
And they don't really like to talk about it either. The coven that she found, I'm like,
She found the coven.
they don't like to talk about what they do. Ow.
That sounds very.
Yeah, that's probably one of those
Yeah.
scary ones. You know what I mean?
If she found the coven,
Shit.
she's probably getting to the deeper part of Wiccan being witchcraft
Well,
and sorcery.
but it's not like the kind of light and fluffy stuff that they're teaching online. This is sort of like
No,
don't
this
go
is the deep.
online sort
Yeah.
of stuff. This is the ones
This is
where I think they're more into, like she started talking about, anyways, it wasn't the nice lady talking anyhow. The one that's teaching her is not the
yeah.
same ones that I was looking at. Like I think there's, as we said, it's just so over the map. There's like maybe good ones and bad ones, if we
Yeah.
will.
Sounds like
I'm
she found the
kind of
bad
wondering if
ones.
she found some of the bad ones. I don't
Yeah.
know. So I don't know what to think about that. Because she's kind of being a little bit, well, because she's kind of like not, I don't know. There's a history there, so I tread carefully, as it were. But
Okay.
yeah,
I don't want to
I
get
think
too
that we
deep
got to
into
it
it.
basically there in the end. It was one of those things that's over the map, so it's scary for that for me.
Yeah,
But
I
anyways,
know.
go ahead. What if you have
Like
something to say on it? Please,
no,
please.
like I'm saying, there's no central core beliefs of Wiccan. So I mean, it can be as as innocent as sugar or as deep as worshiping Satan. It has that whole rainbow. So I'm not saying any one part is bad. I'm just saying what that particular if that particular person is doing. So without any central core
Yeah,
beliefs, we can't really break it down into what they believe. I mean, what we're seeing online in that on
yeah,
that site is not specific to any one type of belief. It's like it's basically it's so uh
yeah.
oh god no frill oh, I can't think of the word. It's so general as to being applying to everybody. So
Like on the surface like that, like when we were looking at it on just that basic one site, I'm not even saying I looked much
I'm
further
still
than
on it
that,
right now.
but
There's
just
more
that,
to it.
yeah, just that then it's like, like we talked before, that looks like gardening. But then, like you say, there's nothing that would guide anyone. But within that, there are these kind of strong nuggets, as you were.
Well, there
People that
might
are
be
really
subsects.
practicing,
Yeah.
from one or six
Right.
books or whatever it is, or 666 books, I don't know, whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's ones that are really doing that with faith and belief in Satan, as it were.
It
They're
could be
devil
well,
worshippers,
maybe not
and they go
Satan.
to it or not
Yeah,
not
like
Wiccans, but
demonology. Well, witches,
actually,
demonology.
yeah, Wiccans are not. Yeah, this is demonology more, but
Well, we're talking
yeah,
about
but it
Wiccans and
could be
witchcraft.
linked
Look,
with Wicca,
you have to
and I
separate the
think the
two
Wicca
because
is the doorway, perhaps.
exactly, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, right. Wiccan would be the doorway to
Yeah,
witchcraft and
could be.
a
Yeah,
lot of
it's a
harder
natural
stuff.
doorway to
It
that.
could be right. Like
Yeah.
pot could be a gateway drug to stronger drugs. Not for everybody, but for
Mhm.
some, these uh, belief systems can become an obsession and can get deeper and deeper and deeper, and they get into stuff that maybe they shouldn't.
I like that. Do you know why I like that? Because when they
Right.
say that pot of a gateway drug, it's really like pot's a gateway drug because of who you hang out with to get pot.
It because
Who
your
do you hang out with?
personality too.
The guy that
Yep.
also that sells
Yeah.
cocaine. So if
Right.
pot, so pot's only a gateway because the same guy's holding them. So if in the same way that you could go into pot and thinking like, oh, trying to think of a
I can
celebrity
control
that
it.
smokes pot or something, there's a celebrity
They're
that smokes
trying to
pot
find one that
and he's
doesn't.
famous, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt everyone the same way. But then you get into the guy that's actually the crack dealer, and whoops, and it's like Wicca too. It's so wide over the place, right? Like pot doesn't have to do you bad, but it might do you bad. But Wicca, it's the
Right.
same thing. It's
Yeah.
all over the place. It doesn't have to do bad, but it can do you
It
bad.
can. Right.
It's
Right.
that kind of thing. It
Well,
could,
it's
because the people you're hanging around with are selling Wicca, but they're also selling like incantations for the devil. You know what I mean?
well, it
They're
goes
like,
to
hey,
personality too,
it's
Fraser.
gardening. No, it's not. It's evil.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
and I think it's going a lot to personality too, because if you have this kind of
Yeah, yeah.
personality, that's good. It's just going to drugs right now. If you have an addictive personality, you love that high,
Hmm.
but you want something more intense. You might go to something harder to get that better, bigger high. So if you're into Wiccan and you want something a little more intense, you might delve into witchcraft and then potions, incantations, demonology, other stuff like that. So it depends on your personality too. But you can like just
It's
scratch the
like,
surface, be happy with that. But your
oh,
personality determines you
yeah.
want to get deeper and deeper and deeper. So it's a lot of who you know, what you know, and your personality. And my
Would it
father,
be
for instance,
yeah.
no,
Pardon?
okay, no, my father, for instance, he had a very addictive personality. So when he was smoking, he would smoke 4 packs a day, and then he quit completely. So it's like an all or nothing kind of thing. Some people don't like that.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, I'm going to put it in quotation marks. It's kind of, anyways, is it with you and say with Sean, those kind of, trying to make a joke. Is it sacrilegious to talk about Star Wars?
No, not at all. Why?
Okay, because some people are like Star Trek or Star Wars. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, that was a
Yeah.
dumb joke. It was
No,
because
there
I
are
know that,
people. Yeah, there are people who are
like, I think my
either
brother, he's
or.
like, oh, Star Wars, it's good, but it's fantasy, whereas Star Trek is science fiction, you see.
You're
Anyway,
right.
whatever. No, I have another point I
Yeah.
want to make, but it was more like, um, that if you're a Jedi and you see that there's this certain power with the universe, like it's almost like Jedi is like Wicca, right? Is that true? It's almost like that,
Maybe
right? Or
it's
there's
more
kind of,
stiff.
obviously it's an
Oh, yeah.
imaginary world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
if you can see that you can focus the energy of the
I got a
universe
perfect thing for you.
for
Wait,
good,
listen
but
to
then it's
this.
like, oh, but I want to do some of that dark stuff. So then you're pulled over into that guy that says he can give you more if you go to the dark side. It's almost like that Wicca,
That would be
maybe,
exactly as I was
kind of.
going to say. Like Sith would be Wiccan, and Jedi would be more into the demonology, dark parts of the witchcraft. So you have like two
Hmm.
ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, and then it's sort of, yeah, and
We talk
well,
like Anakin
and there was
Skywalker. He wanted,
guiding dogma to both of them. Just like there's kind of,
yeah.
well, there's sort of guiding dogma to Wicca, but it's not strong enough to say, hey, don't do it. Like they even say right at the
Well, let's
13th
say
point, it's like, we won't do it to harm anyone. But it's like, how are you going to make everyone not harm everyone kind of thing? I don't know. Something like
yeah.
that.
Well,
Or why isn't that point
let's
number one?
put let's put a Force user as a Wiccan now. So a Jedi being a Wiccan now, that had that they aren't they don't want to harm anybody. They want power, but not at the expense of anybody else, and they tend to help. Whereas Sith, being the darker part of Wiccan and witchcraft, they're all about themselves. They want more power. They don't care how they get it. They'll hurt other people to get it. So like Anakin Skywalker, I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan or not, but Anakin Skywalker wanted to
Yeah.
save his wife from dying. So
Yeah.
he was he was influenced by Palpatine, who was a Sith Lord, in order to get a power to save people from dying. That's only a Sith power. So he was trying to help his wife, which was a good thing, but he was doing bad things in order to get it. So in
Yeah.
order to become a strong Sith, he had to kill all these Jedi, including younglings. So he killed hundreds and
Yeah.
hundreds of people.
He just went,
So
yeah, that was
it
the
was like,
slippery slope thing.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So he
Put
just
it on
wanted to help
slippery
one
slope.
person. So is that one person's life worth all those hundreds? To him, it was, but that's the evil that he
Mhm.
traded to become or to have this kind of power. Ultimately, it
But
didn't
like
work.
one little step at a time, though, right? They tried
Exactly.
to
Yeah,
build it
just
up. I didn't really like those first three because I thought,
I
wow, they
did.
had a long way to go. They had to build him from a nice kid and just one step at a time
Well,
till he got to that point of like, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do what you want. And he got there, but I thought, really, really? He was a, but I
oh, it
see
was a
he
whole
had the
story.
power of foresight, so he could
Yeah.
see her dying. He could
Right.
see her dying. He knew that that was going to be true. Like there was no doubt,
Yeah.
right? He
The funny part is though, if he didn't do anything, he stayed as a Jedi. She might not have died. She died
But
because he
that's,
became a Sith.
yeah, it's true. And I don't really, that part of it is like, wait, is there free choice? Please tell me that's not mean that, it was going to happen anyways. You know what I mean? But I hope that,
We're going
or
to
it's almost
Calvinism
like that,
now.
like,
Yeah.
right? But it
Yeah.
wasn't like a perfect, clear message. He misinterpreted what it looked like. And obviously she didn't die. He perceived that message that she was, oh no, she died in childbirth.
She
Oh no,
died
that was,
after childbirth, but she died because she didn't Well, she died because she thought she lost Anakin. That's why she died. She saw him turn to the evil side. Um, so it's like
Oh no, but
his
he thought
choices.
she was dead earlier.
His choices made a
He th
self-serving
I
prophecy.
don't know. Anyways,
His choices
sorry.
were a self-serving prophecy. So his choices killed her. Had he stayed a Jedi, had he not done anything like that, he might have had his kids not, you know, um, she wouldn't have died. He would have had two normal kids. They would have grown up as powerful Jedi, and everything would have been fine. But his choices, he lost all of his limbs. He was burned terribly. He had that wear that suit the rest of his life, and his wife ends up dying,
Yeah,
and he loses his kids anyway. Well, yeah, so
yeah.
it's
It
like
was just, but then he got it back in the end somehow.
he redeemed
So he
himself in the end.
reconciled before the end, as it were.
Yeah,
But it was, yeah, no, but still, okay. Wait, sorry. So it's,
he was the chosen one.
but just that, like before he gets burned. So just his path to evil. Ah, sorry, I'm trying to bring it back to our discussions, but
No, you can. I think you can reconcile it with what we were talking about because, like, is
just kind of the Wicca thing, but also just like the path from how to
well,
make
thing,
one
well,
bad
thing,
decision to again like
right.
he
Well,
gets torn
Palpatine
away
was
from his
trying to.
family and then
Well, Palpatine was controlling him, manipulating him in order to bring him to the dark side. So he was telling him all
and he
these
had
things
that
that
ego
might or
too. He had
might
a
not have been
natural
true.
ego about him. Right?
Right.
He had a
Anakin,
natural
yeah, yeah,
prideful self, and that was he was
yes.
just poking
He
him like
wanted,
you deserve better.
Anakin wanted
Why aren't
more and
they
more
like
power and
rewarding you
strength.
more?
Yeah,
You
he
know?
wanted more. He
And so whereas
desired more and more power, which is what a Jedi doesn't
and he
want.
wasn't even
Jedi
supposed
doesn't
to have
want
a
that.
girlfriend either. He
No,
wasn't supposed to have a girlfriend. That's it.
no,
Which was
no.
kind
They
of a
want
weird
him to be
thing. I thought
married.
like, man,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know,
I
but
know that
he
it's
wasn't
just
supposed to
I
have
don't
one.
believe.
You know?
It's like a Catholic priest. I don't know if they should stay unmarried or not, but it's another story for another
No, but
time. But,
that's it. I think it's
but
better
these
to
little
like. I
things,
think
well,
another
like I said,
story.
his
Not that I have anything
personality.
against Catholic priests, but I think it's like it's a tough thing to do. And if you want to really
Yeah,
concentrate on something, but I think that the human flesh is just. I don't know if we can really expect someone to do that and be sane afterwards.
many
It'd be
do.
good, but concentrate on what you're doing. But
Yeah,
just don't blue ball out your whole
it's
life.
actually yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's
You
biblical
gotta get.
anyway. You want to serve God,
It's a
get married,
biblical
but
thing.
we'll get
Yeah.
into that another time. But his
Yeah, and what
personality,
that.
Anakin's personality, being a Jedi, because a Jedi being Wiccan, he wanted more and more power. So the more power he wanted, the deeper he got into the dark side. So
Mhm.
when he
Yeah.
fought Count Dooku the second time, Count Dooku told him, "I sense anger, I sense hate in you. Why don't you use them?" So when he started using that anger and hate in the fight, he won. So the
Yeah.
anger and hate gives you power, but it's a wrong kind of power because it ends up
Yeah.
deforming you in some way. So every Sith in the history of Sith have some kind of physical deformation because of the battles, their choices, or Sith alchemy. Sith alchemy, let's say there is Sith alchemy, Sith witchcraft. So let's we can bring that into
There we
our
go. There we
discussion
go.
of
There's the
witchcraft. So performing Sith alchemy and witchcraft takes a toll on your body. It deforms you in some way. So Palpatine, when he looks normal, that was a Sith hologram or some kind of spell in order for him to look normal. After the fight with Mace Windu, when he became deformed, he became deformed. That was his way he normally looked, because being a Sith
ah.
deforms you. So
Okay, I see. And then he tried to use that as an excuse. But he was actually that ugly.
right,
He was just had this mask spell on or something like this.
exactly
Yeah.
right. It's all right. It's a mask spell. Yeah, he was really that ugly all along. And it takes a
Because
lot of power
oh,
and
because
strength
you
to keep that mask on too.
so you would have looked into like I hadn't looked into much beyond those six movies or seven or
Neither have I. I
eight.
haven't seen anything
I
else.
haven't watched the last one actually at all.
Neither did
And the
I.
one before that I watched it, but I wasn't. I was very tired, so I tried to think about the
Disney
plot
screwed it up.
afterwards. I'm like, I don't know. It was looks pretty cool. I guess
Disney
what's
screwed it
his
up. So
name?
we're not.
Indiana Jones there died. I don't know. That was terrible. And then but all the
Han
good
Solo.
friends are there,
Han
robots and stuff.
Solo.
Han Solo, that's right. Just kidding. But yeah, no, no, no. It's no, but they're really fun films. I really like getting into it's like a whole nother universe that someone created for you to just play
In a
around in.
galaxy far, far away.
in a galaxy far, far away. And so we're, that we can imagine these things. Like it's just great to see, I don't know what
Yeah,
we
but
call it, magic, or
George
I shouldn't have
Lucas
said
always.
magic, but something like this, like just greater powers at work and just how it could interact with morality. Like what if there was like 100 people in
Yeah,
the world that could
exactly. As I was
really
gonna say,
manipulate all these things? That
I
would
was gonna
like
say George
change how,
Lucas had this vision of pure good and pure evil, and how easy it is to fall from that pure good side to pure evil, just being selfish and wanting more power. It's that whole thing. So we can go from person being Christian like your friend to practicing witchcraft or Wiccan, now coming into a coven. So that whole fall from being totally good to totally evil. Not to say she's totally evil. I'm not saying that, but it's like that. It's a progression. And deep, I'm
how
afraid the
one
deeper
can
that
go
he
there
gets
and
into it,
come back
yeah.
too, like,
Oh, you can always come
I
back.
don't know,
And Darth Vader
like
came
it's
back.
not
He
like
destroyed
there's,
Emperor Palpatine.
that's it. I was thinking one time it was like about, not that they were ever like identical people or something, but like Sean and his friend Steve, they were coming up on a certain path and obviously
Yeah.
went different ways, or well, and I think they're both coming into a more and more loving kind of, well, I'm not saying that Sean was like unloving or something, but everybody was talking about,
No, Sean
Steve
even
being
actually
very
admitted that he was
nihilistic
having a
before.
lot. Sean was having he actually admitted he was having problems with his addiction and his personality, being angry all the time. So like he fell fall from grace, maybe I don't know, but he
Yeah, no,
understood he
no,
had a
no.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
I'm just
I'm
saying.
talking more about like the Steve kind of nihilistic problem, right? And to
Oh yeah,
come
yeah,
up from there, basically, and they come from, I guess the
a baby
similarity
step.
between
Yeah,
them was more the kind of the party, the rock and roll kind of thing, right? And then that,
to
like
go
again, one went maybe
to
more
actually go have
nihilistic
a
and one went
charity.
more.
Yeah, but to Steve to actually have a charity too. Donate to
Yeah,
charity. I
his
mean, it's amazing. I mean, that's not
Snow
that's like
Tires charity is weird ass
right,
charity, but it was
but
just like,
still, it's
so yeah,
saving
I try and
people.
say Steve, but Steve's obviously not a nihilist, and I don't ever
No.
believe it. He claims to be, but he's like, come on, buddy,
No, I don't. Like you
that's not
said,
what a
there's no such
nihilist
thing as
is.
pure nihilism. But
There's no
like you
such
say,
thing.
Steve, that totally selfish attitude now to wanting to have a
Yeah,
charity to save people to have snow tires in Canada. That's a big step, and
yeah,
that's a
he's right.
step from total admission of nihilism to
That's it.
think, well, maybe there's something bigger I should donate to. Maybe there's something I should
That's it.
help.
And that's
And
the same thing, like these guys that like kind of turn over a new leaf in any kind of way. Like that you would say if you saw them like in their day, as it were. Like even reformed criminals, after 20 years in prison, someone's just like found God or whatever, right? Whereas
yeah,
if you would have met them back in the day, it's like that's what pure evil is. They've got like
right,
tattoos
yeah,
all here. They're just like killing people when they can, and then they just reformed in church or in prison. Say, I just give that example. Like that would be the most evil thing to the most good. That actually can happen. You've seen these kind of
can.
examples too, right? So that
I tend to
evil
see, and
exists, but it can be kind of pushed out, as it were, or pushed back,
oh,
even
good is
within a
always more
one
powerful
person,
than
right?
evil. Even in
That's
the
it.
Bible, good
So
is more powerful than evil. But I tend to think that these criminals who turned their lives around and found God only did it because they got caught. I don't think they would have done it if they didn't get caught. But you don't
I
know
don't
too.
know.
There's a lot of criminals too that change
It's a
their life around
powerful
because
motivator. You
you
get a
know.
lot of time to think
No,
about
it
your
is. It is.
mistakes, right? So yeah,
It
I
is.
agree. Like you might have to get caught, might have to spend that time in the cell to really, or maybe it takes another 15 years until the guy finally goes like, oh wait, I am a dick, I don't
Yeah.
know. But you get a
Like I
chance,
said,
and not all ones do reform either.
I had a friend who was a friend of a friend who was a hardcore drug user. He took a bad acid trip. He saw God, got completely off drugs, and now he's a kind of a preacher or something. So he
Yeah.
never got caught either. So there are
Yep. It
influences.
can
Yeah.
turn. And it'll be your mother or your grandmother, whatever it turns you around. Like again, there's going to be yeah, the crack.
Well, Sean
There's going to
said
crack in that evil heart.
his son was the one that turned him around. He wanted to get clean for
Is
his
Sean
son too.
watching?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought
No,
you. Oh, I thought he was a comment he was saying. Oh, I thought. Okay,
no,
sorry.
no,
I thought you were reading his comment. I'm like,
no, no,
you're
no,
a
no.
viewer? No,
No, no. Sean said he
no.
wanted to get clean. Sorry, Sean, for making a mistake, but he said he wanted to get clean for his son too. And you saw the problems he had with his
Yeah.
anger. So it's not like he wasn't a bad person, but he wants to make himself a better person. So he's
Oh yeah, yeah.
concentrating on
No, and
yeah.
we do. Yeah. And I think that that's the thing too. Like you. Well, anyways, I can't read other people's minds, but I think that's a desire. We want to get better, And then some people would see that as getting more powerful, and they're just it's just driving that same energy
In a good way,
better,
yeah.
better, better, but it's not better in terms of for me more loving or something, you know. Better is more their bank account is bigger. Better is, you know, again, better for Anakin Skywalker. Better is saving this next woman in my life because I lost my mother because I didn't get there fast enough. So I have to try harder this
Yeah.
time. So better is trying harder to save my wife. You know, so just what better is, I don't know where I was going with that, but it felt right. I was
No.
like, you know, if you think it's better, you've just got that messed up definition of what better
If
is,
it's
right?
better but
Something
doesn't
like
hurt
that.
anybody else while you're getting better, that's the key.
And
Gotta hurt
yeah,
somebody else
and to
to get
keep
better.
that golden rule in your pocket, right? Or
Exactly.
no, that's
Yeah.
the golden dog poop rule. You know, make sure don't use that one.
That's why you're training
And
as
just
a
to keep it
Jedi.
clear, like,
When you train as a
mhm,
Jedi, you keep everything internal. You know, you work out physically, mentally. You get stronger in the Force. For a Sith, it's a lot of external. You hurt other people to get their power to become.
right, yeah.
You do evil. You perform Sith magic, and that's how you become powerful. So it's like one is self improvement. The other one is you're improving yourself, but you're becoming powerful based on other of the to the disadvantage of other people.
Disadvantage, yeah.
Right. So
Did you?
or even killing
Oh,
them. Good.
was that Star Trek? Star Trek, I think. One of these
What?
new ones. Maybe you don't like those ones either.
Oh, I
But
love
where they're
Star Trek.
like pulling life out of people? Was that Star Trek?
I
And
think
then the guy
that's
gets
no,
stronger when he
that's
pull
Star
life
Wars.
out of.
That might be Star Wars. Are you talking about Snoke? That's Star Wars.
No, but like the
Star
big
Trek doesn't
bad
have
guy,
that.
he had some machine that would kind of suck the life force out of
That was
people, and then
Snoke.
he would get it.
That was
No, it
Snoke. I
must have
didn't
been.
see it, but that was Snoke. That's Star Trek. Star Wars. Sorry. Supreme Leader Snoke.
What was the most recent Star Trek about?
Oh
The
God,
one
I
with the
don't
white
remember.
people. No?
The
Like the girl
movie?
that was like really white and had like lines or something. Like the oh, what are these new ones? You know, the ones that's not like
I
the other
don't know.
ones.
The last one I
Star
saw was was with Khan, the remake with Khan. That was a Star Trek. I don't remember what it was. The new
That was
cast.
the second movie. That's Star Trek 2. That's the last one you
Right.
saw. There's been like
That was the last
15.
one I saw. Yeah. I don't
You
go out
didn't
to the
see
movies.
4?
No,
You
no. I
didn't
don't go out to the
see
movies. If it comes out on cable, I'll watch it, but I don't go to the
Search for
movies anymore.
Spock.
That's oh God. How far now? You want to go back? That's the original one with Leonard Nimoy. You want to go back? With,
The no, What's the one where they're in San Francisco with the whales?
oh,
That I love that one.
with the Voyage Home.
Um, Voyage Home. Apparently they had like no budget, and Leonard Nimoy took a hold of
Yeah,
it, and he says, "Okay, we'll do this one in like San Francisco," and they did it like with
that
no
was
money,
it did it
and it
fantastically
was
too.
hilarious. I thought it was the funniest
It
one
was
I ever
great.
saw.
That was a good movie. It was funny. I don't know about funny, but it was good.
But well, comical in different ways that the other ones weren't. And apparently, well, I think Leonard Nimoy did a lot of that stuff, but apparently this one, I think he was more hands-on. He really was just having a little bit more of a fluffy time. And yeah, it was, anyways. What was I looking up? Star Trek. What are
I
the new
don't
movies
know.
called now?
I have no idea.
Well, I punch in Star
Google
Trek
Star
and it
Trek
only
movies.
comes up with like the
Let's see.
original series, like
No,
oh,
Wait, Star Trek movie list. That's what I'm doing.
I don't know.
Okay,
There's just
so let's see here. I got the movie list up right now. Star Trek 14. Oh, Star Trek Beyond. Well, I gotta go to the bathroom. Into Darkness was the one that I saw. Star Trek Beyond I didn't see, and Star Trek 14 I guess they're making. Give me a second, Fraser. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right
sure.
back.
I'll look up this sometime. Yeah.
I am so sorry. You had to go bed.
No, it's okay. I was trying to look up. I think it is the Beyond one. I don't know. They were doing something. I thought they were
I didn't
somehow
see the
killing
Beyond yet.
people.
That was the last one they made. So.
Like somehow they're killing people to take their energy or something or anything like that. I don't know. Anyways, just that idea of taking
Oh, you're
power,
right.
like
No,
use the
yeah,
bad
I
guy
guess.
using powers to
Yes, you're
like
right.
taking
I
the
just
power of
looked.
other people to get himself more powerful,
I was looking at the
and that was it.
synopsis right now. A surprise attack in outer space forces the Enterprise to crash land on a mysterious world. The assault came from Krall, Idris Elba. I like him. A lizard-like dictator who derives his energy by sucking the life out of his victims. Krall needs an
There it
ancient
is.
and valuable artifact that's aboard the badly damaged. Gotta hit more. Starship. Left stranded in the rugged wilderness, Kirk, Chris
How
Pine,
are you reading?
Spock, Zachary Quinto, and the rest of the crew must now battle a deadly alien race while trying to find a way off their hostile planet. Okay, it sounds interesting. I would watch it. Love Star Trek.
Yeah, it's just recent too. I bet you I could find that too.
It was made 2016,
Yeah.
so it hasn't even come on cable yet.
Oh
I
yeah,
only
that's good.
watch it if it comes on cable. I will never go to a movie theater ever again. I will never ever support Hollywood ever
Never
again.
go. God, what a waste of time and like just yeah. I'm with you on that one. I do it for my son, but recently, with the last few movies, I realized he doesn't want to go to the movie. He wants to go to the arcade.
Yeah.
Like we
Oh,
get
yeah.
like
Have you
halfway
still
through
guys
the
still have
movie,
arcade?
and he's like, "Dad, can we go to the arcade?" I'm like, "We're here to see the movie." And like find out like we're just gonna go to the arcade this time. We haven't gone to a movie since. I'm like, this is better. Spend $20. He's just like playing like pinball. He loves his pinball, and just every game is like $20
Wow.
lasts him 2 hours. Like, damn, why didn't
I
I do this
can't believe you
before?
guys still have an arcade. I can't believe you guys still have an
Dude,
arcade. We haven't had one here in 20 years.
I know, and it's rare, and it's like really sticky and just like awesome, but just it's
Yeah, right.
so
I
rare,
grew
right?
up in the arcades. Yeah.
So after
How,
machines are
this,
like broke, they're not half broken, but it's like the guy's just grumpy giving out
yeah.
quarters and stuff. It's just awesome.
Out of
Yeah.
curiosity, how
No,
much is a movie to see where you are? How much is it go to the theater?
oh, it'll be like 12 or $15.
It's about right here. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
about the
12 or
same.
15, like that would be like
Yeah. And IMAX would be
nine or
22, 25. IMAX, I
no,
get
but I
super
mean
3.
Canadian though. You have to
No,
divide
I'm
that
talking
up a
about,
bit,
yeah. I'm talking about 16, $18 here American. That's what we pay to go to a movie.
which is
Yeah.
like $25 for us.
Yeah, and if you want to see IMAX, that Super 3D that with those that great sound is like
Yeah,
$25. I saw the last movie I saw in a theater was Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. I saw it in IMAX. Do not
yeah.
regret a second of it. But but
Oh,
it was
there's some
fantastic.
movie
I'll
that's
never go.
breaking all sorts of records now. The new
Oh, I don't know.
superhero movie,
Oh, was it
Black Panther.
Black Panther? Yeah,
That's it. I think it's breaking all sorts of records for other
it is.
movies, but it's because people are paying fucking $25, $30 a pop.
Right, right.
Ooh,
Gee, you
that's
go
a lot
to
of bank.
for two to go out to the movie theater in New York right now. Let's say two tickets are $30. You get two large popcorn. I say that's $8 a piece, so that's another 16. You get some Coke or something. You pay $3 a piece for that. So with 30, 46,
Oh,
oh, $50
yeah,
just for like a 2 hour event just to
yeah,
get out. It's
yeah.
not
It's
worth it
getting up
anymore.
there. Like cheapers. Like if a
When I was a
ticket, like
kid, when I was a kid, I'm talking about like in my oh god, 10 between like 7 and 10 years old. I think the movies were like $3 a pop. When my
yeah,
mother went to the movies, this was funny. My grandmother gave my mother and my aunt a quarter, and she said, "Go to the movies and come back. I want my change." A quarter. This was
a
back in what,
quarter.
the 40s, 50s. But
Yeah,
back in the 50s, though, you went to a movie theater, you got a newsreel, you got cartoons, you got the main event, you got a matinee. I mean, you spent 5 to 6 hours in the theater
yeah,
for
yeah,
for
for sure.
for 10 cents a piece. They spent the whole
Yeah,
day there.
yeah. But it's a different, well, that's a different business model. Like there was one, and it was a little bit in an out of the way place in Montreal, and it was the Dollar Cinema. Might be a $2 cinema now, but at the time you go in there, and it would be the films that were like, 2 months old or 3 months old, right?
Yeah.
So not right at the new releases. but it's $1 for the film, $1 for like a popcorn, $1 for a pop, $1 for a chocolate bar, $1 for everything.
Wow, that's
And it's just
great.
like, and it was just awesome. And it's like, how the hell are you doing it? He's like, he doesn't pay for the films very much, and they're making their own
Right, if you get them a
popcorn,
couple months
the
old, yeah,
soft
you're not
drinks as
buying them
much,
brand new. Yeah.
just pack people through there and just make them happy, as it were.
In America, they get you at the concession stand. They
Oh
can
yeah,
kill you there.
exactly.
Like three
Wait,
dollars
that's what
for
they
a
do here.
candy bar.
Yeah.
$3 for a candy
Oh
bar outside is like 50 cents or 75 cents.
yeah,
Yeah, they
that's.
kill you.
Oh yeah, they haven't started checking the bags really close. At least not kids' bags.
No, no, not
So
here
you
either.
bring in a diaper bag until the kid's like 8 years old.
One of my
Put a
friends,
bunch of stuff in it.
one of my
Uh,
friends said, I wanted to like bring like a thing of Pringles into the movie theater or something. He says, why don't you stick it down your pants? I said, I would get girls like crazy then.
yeah, that's it. They'd always say,
Let
"Don't
me
be too
see
many
the
people around
Pringles.
you."
You ever see the Pringles?
Yeah, the big
I
thing.
gotta get that guy's number.
It's the way of making friends. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right. I'll make friends, all right. Just want to get the
That's it.
time.
Oh, it's all right.
I don't know what trip
Yeah,
we
but
found tonight,
movies.
but
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. What did we? There was something interesting we said a minute ago. No, we got into
uh,
something about witches and science
that was
fiction,
yeah. Yeah, we're talking about Jedi.
Scientology.
And, no,
I
we were
don't know.
talking
I'll
about
watch it
Wiccans
again.
and the Jedi.
Did you watch any of those things? Posted up one little. Oh, you did. I think you commented on it. Yeah, that's it. A
I
promo.
think I did.
And I picked this. Like I went back in my history. I just like grabbed a random one. I'm like, which one should I do? I don't know. Just grab one and see if you can pull out some clips, right? And I don't know if I didn't actually. Well, I guess I watched the full thing as I was doing it. It wasn't really about David Wood. We weren't really talking about
No, we
David
weren't
Wood.
talking about David
But
Wood.
if
I'm
you
just
look at
making.
the thing, it looks like the
Yeah.
whole episode is about David Wood. I'm like, whoops. And I kind of like, anyways, it was mostly for fun, but I just see how easy it would be and how hard tough it would be. I
I
couldn't
would
do it
love to
like at the
get you to
same thing
talk.
that Sean did, but anyways, it was
I
still
would
fun to
love to
do.
get you to talk to David Wood.
I, what did I do? I didn't send it to him.
He's a little too
When I
famous
went
right
on
now.
their page, I'm like, hey, I'll just forward in my thing to them. And there was like no way of sending them a message. So I'm like,
No,
okay.
there isn't. No, his friends is
But
maxed out, and you can only follow him, but you can't comment or anything. You just watch what he says.
what they must have turned that off for the group though. Like other places I could comment on or send a message to or something like this.
To
So,
David Wood?
but he's with and I'm like, quick little Google, I wonder where he's at. And then there was this other kind of ministry that he apparently, I don't know, not runs, but strongly involved
X17
with,
Apologetics.
Act 17. So I sent that to them.
I'm a big fan of it. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Oh,
so they were, because their
he's
thing,
actually
they
doing
accept
okay.
messages, right? So I just
Yeah,
sent them
they
a
do.
message. I
Yeah.
said, to, oh no, I said, for David Wood, with love from Frank and Fraser. That's all I said. Tick. So that was my
He's
message to
actually.
David Wood, was to Act 17. I expect nothing back.
If you're, are you going to
Anyways,
be home tomorrow, Fraser?
home?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
I'll
you
be
going to
around
be
for
home?
some times.
Okay.
I got,
Tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon, David Wood is debating Shabir Ali about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Shabir Ali is a Muslim, obviously, so he's going to do, and I think he's going to do it live on YouTube. So look on Act 17 Apologetics on YouTube. I think it's about 12 or 1 o'clock. If you're up, I suggest you watch it. His debates usually run 2.5 hours long. Well worth watching, though.
I might catch it afterwards. But for
I'm
on
sure
the
you'll have
case
it
of the
recorded.
resurrection,
Yeah.
but that's the sort of the deep stuff. I don't know if I want to go too far into the deep stuff. At least like that's already like next level stuff. It seems like to me.
It's not really next
Whereas
level because it's a core Christian belief. So you have to, if you want to learn a lot about the Christian belief system, watch that debate because you'll get a lot into it. Should be early to probably go the other way, but you'll see.
But again, to what end, though? If it's to see
It's
why
a debate.
Muslims
It's
don't
learning.
think that Jesus was
Well,
crucified or the
don't
resurrection?
even think about that. Just watch the debate and see what the core beliefs are on what Muslims and Christians believe. And if you want to learn about Christianity, obviously you go to the guy who's a good debater. I suggest watching his debates. He's really, really good.
It would be, but it's no, but it's 2.5 hours out of a day where I was thinking about like 10 minutes. I was thinking when you said that, I'm like, oh, maybe we could do a half-hour podcast. You're like,
Based
or I could watch 2.5 hours of someone else doing a podcast. I'm like,
yeah.
I might go do the editing. I might do some editing of our stuff, but honestly, like I was saying to somewhere else, anyways, it was just that, what I have time for. Almost like the thing that you said. He's like, when you have a family, you'll probably quit the group. And it was like, wait,
Maybe.
I have a family. And it
Oh,
was like,
that was,
sorry, so that just kind of
oh,
say,
just
what should I be doing? And going down into some of those rabbit holes, like just watching the suggested views of Sean's, it's like, unless I be talking about it, I don't I don't know if I want to jump into sort of like deep Passover kind of discussions. That's not where I'm at now. I guess in my journey, it's just like
oh, okay.
this gets sort of
Eventually,
really
yeah.
deep.
Well,
Like,
when you're
why
ready.
did Jesus resurrect? It's like, let's talk to the historians about this one.
Yeah, and you start falling
No,
asleep.
it's like
Yeah.
when I'm talking
No.
about being a general revelation guy, it's like saying that kind of message, that kind of like dusty message, as it were, from both sides. Like the other one is going to be just as dusty as this one, in the sense that it's like I need something with a little bit of life on it. It's springtime. I'm going to go watch stuff grow outside and
Yeah,
not talk about
yeah,
stuff
yeah, yeah.
that regrew 2,000 years ago, as it were,
Almost
rebirthed.
good.
So while it's not like trying to diminish it, it's just sort of like, I got like family to live right here. So the message
No, I
for
understand
me
that.
just, again, like I
No,
said to Sean's thing about epistemology, he was like, you have to know epistemology to learn about Christ. I'm like, it just renders it a lot less accessible, right? It's like, damn, 2.5 hours on a Saturday? Are you?
it might burn an hour and a half. I don't know.
I'm going to show you my apartment here that'll say it needs 2.5 hours of cleaning. 22.5 hours of cleaning. But no, it was things like that too. Like when we are talking about the possible value in this thing. See, this is my money-making idea.
Oh, you got a lot of shit there. Let's see a Lego
Well,
character.
actually, I've blocked it out because we're making a Lego movie, so I blocked it out with old Lego boxes. But it's like
Holy
maybe
crap!
we
What a
could
mess.
sell some stuff, right? But I have to
Yeah.
like kind of like get it. There's a carpet there, but that's worth nothing at all. It looks like a fancy
It's a
Persian
nice
rug.
carpet.
It doesn't look like a fancy Persian rug, but it's like so I have to get these like projects on the go, things like that I said to Sean, I'm like, hey, maybe I could do this, and I haven't even taken one picture yet. So it's these kind of things. So that's why I say that, yeah, David Wood debate would be great, and I will watch it if he responds to my email. For sure.
But
I'll watch like
well,
every video
the
he'll ever
great
made
thing,
if he responds to my
Fraser,
fucking video.
the great thing about YouTube is that anything that you want will always be there if you want to watch it later on. So you have time.
That's it. And that's why I say the live thing. It was like, well, if it's on YouTube, I was going back and forth with Rob Lundberg too. I said, hey, maybe you want to talk this weekend. And he was like, he was doing one or another thing. But I think it's these things like, and I've heard some of his podcasts. It was like, I think you have to be there in person. It's not like something you can pick up later. Anyways,
Yeah.
so it's that kind of thing. Like if it's something and obviously I can't make it down to where Rob is to watch his thing. Excuse me. But if it is
Rob is in
recorded later,
California, isn't he? Isn't
beautiful.
Rob in California?
Uh, he says place names and I don't remember.
Okay.
Something. Yeah, somewhere over
Yeah.
there, I think.
Yeah, he's
He looks
a ways
more.
away.
He's a ways
Yeah,
away,
right.
exactly. Southern, no. More southern, it seems like.
California is
Darn.
huge.
I was just listening to one today because I was texting back and forth and like it was kind of I can't even read it right now because it's in the phone. It was like just I guess first steps. I don't know. I said, hey, how's it going? Just reaching out. John was talking about this podcast. What do you think? And he just says hi, and then we go back and forth. And he says, well, what do you want to talk about? And I says, well, why don't we start at the start, kind of thing. Like I understand you started in the army, and you had that was where it started bad. I said, I understand you were in the army, and then you had a colorful path through the ministry. No response. No response. What do you mean by a colorful past? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I was
Uh-oh.
listening to your podcast, and you said, I guess he was having some problems with them congregations or something like this. I didn't mean colorful, but then when I wrote colorful, it was like COLOUR, the Canadian way.
Yeah.
And then
For
he
the
wrote back
old
colorful
English.
with the OR. I says, oh, no, I was just talking about just what I just said. I said, I understand you had some, I understand from your podcast, I understand from your podcast. I was like, whoops, I didn't mean to overstep. I understand from listening to your podcast that you had some interesting things with the congregation. Um, and then I tried to make some joke, and I don't think that went well either. Because about the colorful and the colorful.
Yeah.
Because he didn't put a U and I put a U. So I said, oh, like, LOL, I see that there's some Canadian American differences coming up already. Whereas you say colorful experiences, I say colorful experiences.
It's pronounced the
So the
same way,
U,
so I don't see why the spelling is different. It makes any difference.
but it was a joke. You got to see the text. It was like,
Yeah.
it was a clever little word joke. I said, the Canadians want to put a U in everything. Or no, the Canadians want to put a U in their colorful experiences.
Makes it
And
more
we also want to
colorful.
put you in our colorful experience. I did some really dumb word game and obviously it didn't work, but it was something about putting you, like YOU, in our podcast, as well as putting
Oh,
you
yeah,
in
I
the
got that,
colorful
but yeah, I
experience.
understood, but yeah, I understood. Yeah, I
So
guess it
dumb.
didn't come out
And then
right.
you went back,
You know,
are you trying to mince my
texting,
words or something? And
yeah,
I was like,
texting never
whoops,
works out.
sorry, no,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's why I don't. That's why I keep my text short and sweet because you lose a lot when you text somebody.
Oh,
Like
so
when you
much,
say,
right?
when you told me, well, you ask, and am I around? I said yes, I'm round. So that's
I'm
a
round.
joke.
I'm
Yeah,
round.
I'm round. Oh, you mean am I around? Okay, yeah.
I'm
And there's
around.
a you in around too.
It's true. You're round around. I'm around around.
Am I
I'm
around?
around
Yes, I'm
around.
around.
I'm round around.
I'm
I'll be
round.
round around. I'll
Yeah.
be around round around.
I like the Michigan fireman. I'm around.
In, oh, I would. Oh, now I've forgotten those place names. There was a funny town that would go with that. Round in the. Oh, there's Boswell. Ah, there was one good one. Oh, where are you around? I'm around. Oh, I would have to go. There, it doesn't matter. One of those funny
I would
town
love to.
names, right?
I would love to name a town roundabouts. Where are you? You're roundabouts. Roundabouts where? Get the whole
Roundabouts.
thing.
Come see me. Where about? Roundabouts.
Oh, I made it.
Come see me down by roundabouts.
Oh, I have this
No,
weird
that's it.
sense of humor. I told my brother one time I would just want to take a sign, put it on a bench that says dry paint, and see how many people what dry paint.
Drive it.
Just to see how many people get confused. That would confuse a lot of people.
Oh, that would be nice. This is the sort of stuff like when you kind of go into the street and just film experiences, like
Yeah,
that I don't know who does these, that David Letterman might do this or something, and just do that. Stick a thing on the chair and then just stand back and
yeah,
kind of, I guess,
yeah.
covertly
Watch people
film
get
the
confused.
reactions of people or something, right?
Yeah, dry paint, huh? What? Can I sit there?
Or
And people be like, wait, is it really dry?
it's
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's dry. It's okay. Wait, dry? What the? It's true. Even just saying that, it's just like you're not even expecting it, but it would just look so weird. It's like
Oh,
you're expecting, yeah, paint,
this is how
and we want it to be dry, but why would it straight? I
because
wonder how people.
it's crazy how the human mind works. If you just
Yeah,
have something in your hand and you hand it to somebody without saying a word, they'll take it.
they'll take
Try
it.
it.
I've heard that too.
Just
Yeah.
try it. Just have a piece of garbage, anything doesn't matter. Just hand it to somebody. They'll just take it and don't say a
Yeah.
word. Just walk away.
What do you?
You know?
It's like a natural thing.
It's a
Yeah,
natural
well,
thing.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
you see something that's outside of what you used to, your mind just plays tricks on you, like dry
Yeah, it
paint.
tries to
Why would
infuse
somebody
something
put a
new.
sign that says dry paint? You know,
Yeah,
it, it screws with your mind.
it does mess with you. Oh yeah. Oh well, I think I
I
should. Maybe I should get going. See, we're both making
yeah.
yawning things. But man, I'm just happy that Facebook's working again.
Me
Well, I
too.
was, I
I
guess it
need
got
this morning.
sketchy in the middle there, but
So, okay, so what's the secret truth? Finding Frank and Fraser and the Sith and the Wiccans.
no, are those
I
the
was just
same? It
trying to
was
think.
Sith, Wiccans,
Sith,
Jedis,
Sith,
and
Wiccan were Jedi, Sith were
oh,
witches or sorcerers. Yeah, so,
which
yeah.
that was it. That was it. We found him. We found him.
That was
That
a
one you.
great, I like that I love that analogy. That worked out
It
really
works so
well.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like it too. It really worked well with me. Yeah. Anyways, hoping. Yeah, we're fighting back. Wait, what are we now then? Are we the rebels or are we the Empire? Oh gosh,
Oh, God, I would say, I don't know, I'd say,
depends when in the
oh,
storyline.
the rebels wanted freedom. The Empire were like, I would say, okay, George Lucas modeled the Empire after the Third Reich, Germany, 1940s,
Yeah.
where there were absolute power, that's fascism, and the rebels were more like the freedom fighters, American freedom fighters fighting against Britain, and wanted just absolute freedom. So saying rebels has a bad connotation, but in this case, rebels being the good guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. Against, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But a
They
total
want, they don't,
freedom.
they were,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they were fighting against that totalitarianism.
We might get more into this. It sounds like you know pretty deeply the the
Yeah, I do.
whole
The Star Wars folklore, yeah,
universe of
I
Star
do.
Wars. This could
I
no, and
do.
just to work it into analogies, because it's not only me that Star Wars works for too to explain things. You know what I
A
mean?
lot of people work for you.
Right? And you can just make those little links, like, hey, this is what we're talking, like the mechanic and the car
Yeah,
thing, the mechanic and the
right.
prophet, or no, the yeah, it was a mechanic as a
It was
that sort of
Mechanic of
thing.
the Prophet. Yeah, you're right. In fact, George
Um,
Lucas designed Darth Vader's helmet to represent the German SS helmets. That's the design.
oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think about it. I yeah, okay. Yeah, it kind of has a little flare down like this or
Yeah,
something. No, is that
right.
right? Yeah?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, I
It
think I
comes
get that.
down with the flare.
Yeah, it
It doesn't
definitely
have
yeah.
that little,
It,
just with that little
yeah, it
point on
make
top.
it makes me think about that. You know, that sort of like the whole troop thing, they're all identical. It's almost like
They're all
that
identical. Yeah, right. There was right. There
like
was
the
no right. There was no diversity within the troops. It was like all black and white and everything. That they wanted
yeah, they were black,
everybody had
but
to
I
be in
mean it
lockstep. Well,
a
everybody
lockstep
had to
and
be
it
in
was just a
lockstep.
sort of
Right.
yeah.
Right.
And how,
Any kind of independent thought was taken away, and the
or just
rebels was the
visibility
exact opposite.
differences either.
Right.
Everyone should be blonde. Everyone should be
Right. Yeah. Right.
tall, and obviously they
Right.
wanted them all be Aryan basically. But just that
Aryans. Right.
homogeneity, trying to
Well,
search for
you would be perfect
homogeneity.
Aryan. You would be more Aryan. You got
It's
blonde
good.
hair, blue eyes, tall.
I know. Oh, Hitler would have loved me.
Yeah, he would have loved you. What was I gonna say? Let's see, the
Not a good
rebels. Yeah,
thought.
the
It's like I don't want
rebels.
Hitler to love me. I don't want no Hitler. Fuck off. Fuck
You would
you.
have lived.
No, it's like,
Well, I'm Italian. We were allies with the Germans, or Germans too. So
that's right. He would like you too.
that's
We
right.
have something else in common.
There you go.
Hitler
Allied to
likes us
Hitler.
both.
That's not a truth I
Oh
wanted to
God.
find.
This is not what I wanted to find out tonight. Why couldn't we have been Jedis? I thought we were
Yeah, right.
now we're allied with Hitler somehow. How did we get there? That was a really funny path though.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting silly. I'm getting silly. Unlike
Yeah,
before.
we're both
Yeah,
right.
sorry, we could sign off now with that extra Third Reich.
All right. All right, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, what was I gonna say. This is Secret Truth, Finding
I'll
Frank and
just
Fraser, and a whole lot of not stuff we didn't want to find. All right, good night, Fraser. Talk to you soon.
uh,
God bless.
yeah, good.